Pokemon Pokopia has completely taken me by surprise, and it's not something I ever expected to be this good. Pokemon Pokopia is the new Pokemon Life simulator game that shares a heap of similarities with Animal Crossing, and it just released, and honestly, there's so much to unpack here. Firstly, I have to admit that this was a game that was not really that much on my playlist whatsoever. I was thinking I'd get to it when I had the time, but I suppose what got me very curious was just there was so much noise when the reviews came out, and the fact that this became one of the highest rated Pokemon games in history based on the Metacritic scores, it got my attention because I'm like, whoa, wait, how is this game better than Heart Gold, Soul Silver? Well, how is it rated better so early on? So with that, I decided that I obviously need to give this a go, and honestly, I thought I'd break down my thoughts on the game and what really surprised me about this new very interesting Pokemon Life Simulator game. So obviously here, I'm on the Metacritic. Now, we can see that Pokemon Y, very interestingly, is on the top spot with 88. But then right there is Pokemon Pokopia. Now, just based on this, already, like as a big Pokemon gamer, like I'm telling you, Pokemon Y is definitely not in that top spot. Pokemon Black, White, yeah, fair enough. If you keep going down here, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I'd put these in the top spot. Then you keep going down, you can see Pokemon Sun and Moon at 87, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl at 85. I'd have those much, well, actually, I'd have Pokemon Platinum higher than that. And you can see Pokemon Platinum 83. So the Metacritic isn't something, and Pokemon Legends Arceus 83. Okay, so the Metacritic isn't something that we can really go off. And then some of these probably like Pokemon Ruby 82. I wouldn't, to me, Pokemon Ruby is much better than Pokemon X and Y. But the fact that Pokemon Pokopia just pretty much, as soon as it released, is on this massive Metacritic score, that really got me thinking, and I was just like, what is happening? So I had to go buy it, and then I was playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I was like, you know what, this is so sick. And I usually don't like to, if I'm playing a video game, I have this thing where if I've spent the money on it, I want to actually beat that game before I buy another game, because then my backlog gets massive. But then I was like, oh, you know what, this game just released, I'm gonna put Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I'm gonna pause that for now, and I'm gonna buy Pokemon Pokopia. And I started playing it, and to my surprise, I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I played Animal Crossing when it released back in 2020, and I wasn't the biggest fan. I was like, whatever, like I get the people that love it. I finished it, saw the, whatever, if you can even finish the game. I saw end credits, and I was like, okay, it's fun, it's enjoyable, but it's not really my kind of game. Then I started playing this, and I was just like, wow, this is insanely fun, and it is crazily addictive, like to the point where I'm like, wow, you really need to be mindful when you're playing this game, because you can sink in hours. And just like, I'm early days in the game, but from what I'm seeing right now, just early on, this is a game, if you're like, there is way more than 100 or hundreds of hours in content. Like the real dedicated fans, they're going to be able to like put in thousands of hours. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. If you actually have picked up the game, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. The way you can build everything, the way the world interacts, it is a crazy cool game. And I have to admit that it's taken me by surprise, because my kind of Pokemon games are definitely like your Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That's the kind of like, I've loved like some of the spin-off games like Mystery Dungeon and all that. But the fact that this game has actually been that interesting and captivated me, and the fact that I can't wait to just play more of it, it's crazy. And it is a massive time sink. Also, I just want to say, if you are a newcomer to the channel, welcome aboard. My name is Phil, and I cover topics about Pokemon, and especially Pokemon cards as well. If you do like keeping up to date with the world of Pokemon and trading cards, definitely feel free to subscribe. It's always great seeing new people on board. Now, I have to say, the area that I'm finding very addictive in Pokemon Pokopia is the fact that you essentially need to create your own spaces to make Pokemon appear. And I've never seen anything like this in a Pokemon video game. So how it works is, in the world, you can find things known as a trace of a Pokemon. And with that, it gives you a clue on how you need to find this particular Pokemon. And then you need to actually create that space or that world yourself so the Pokemon can appear. Like for example, when I found Pinsir's information, it said Pinsir appears in tree shaded tall grass. So just to get an idea of how it works, for me to get Pinsir to spawn, I actually need to find a tree or plant a tree myself. Then I'll need to plant grass patches specifically in the shaded parts of the tree. I'll need to water them. And then essentially I would have a chance, or well, a rare chance actually, for a Pinsir to spawn, which would then be able to assist me on my island. And each Pokemon has a very unique specialty that can help you with your island. For example, they can build and do all these little cool quirky things. And I don't actually think I've seen a Pokemon game interact this well with the world, along with the fact of how well it's designed outside of that whole Pokemon battling that we're used to. It's actually made a world within Pokemon. So the game's just like taken me by surprise on how like in-depth it is and how well the world of Pokemon actually works in this kind of life simulator environment, and the crazy thing, and I know a lot of people would be feeling this too, is how has this just come about? This feels like it was, like now that I'm playing it, it feels so natural, so easy. To me, it just feels like this kind of concept should have already been made back in the 3DS era. It just so you get an idea of the game, like you get to create your own character. So you start as a Ditto that's a human and you just change it however you want. My daughter was having a heap of fun with this as well, but I was really enjoying it. You make your character look however you want. You essentially get these abilities of Pokemon that you can use as your Ditto. So for example, you can water plants with Squirtle's ability. You can use a thing called Leafage, which makes you actually pull grass out from patches, and then you have to water them to give them life. You can cut them as well, and you get all these things like Rock Smash as well. And I'm just super early in the game, and the thing is, I'm not even able to, I don't even care that much about progressing the story, because you just get sucked in building your world. You're literally just in this life environment, and it is so cool. Even like how I was saying on how you find that trace of a Pokemon, and with that, you're able then to like literally create that world for that Pokemon to spawn. I'm just imagining like deep endgame, how rare some particular Pokemon would be, or the crazy things you would need to build to get that Pokemon to spawn. I can already see that having a thing, and I can already see the way this interacts, because if you have played Animal Crossing, I'm not gonna lie, when you play this game, there is so much similarities. Even the menu, when I opened it up, I'm like, wow, this reminds me so much of Animal Crossing. Like, it has those similarities for sure. And something that I didn't expect, because my initial thought when I was playing this game was like, all right, whatever, I'll give it a go. And that, I'm telling you this from a person that actually didn't have any expectations of that I'm gonna enjoy the game that much. Like, it's not my kind of style of game usually that I play. Like I was telling you, I play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn, those kind of games. And with Pokemon, I didn't mind Legends Arceus. I really like my old school Pokemon games. But the fact that this has got me so immersed in the game, and the way it's done is so good. There's gonna be so many people that buy a Nintendo Switch 2 because of this game, and the fact that it's released so early in the Switch's life cycle as well, it's ticked so many boxes. And I honestly think, and I'm not even saying this like to exaggerate, and I don't wanna sound like I'm just glazing on the game, because like I said, I wasn't a person that actually thought I would be enjoying it that much. I was kind of like, I'm gonna just play it because I could just, when I saw that Metacritic and the fact that it got rated so highly, I'm like, I have to just try it. And then when I tried it, I'm like, now I can't get off it. So I'm kind of like, oh, my wife's just looking at me like, Phil, what is going on? Like, she's just watching me play this game. She's used to me playing like God of War and stuff like that. And she could just see me like what's it called? Like squirting my plants, you know what I mean? Just building my trees, and she's just like, what is happening? And there's obviously a lot of things to do, so it's kind of split, and the gameplay like model is split in a really unique way, because you can kind of follow the story, and the way to progress the story is you can get these kind of rewards for challenges such as picking up stones and building things and doing all that. You get these tickets which give you coins, and then you can purchase things from the shop, and then you talk to Tangrowth, and Tangrowth will tell you the next thing you need to do in order for the next thing to appear, and so on and so forth. You can follow that route, but the really, really addictive part of the game is you do not have to actually follow the story unless you want to unlock more of the things. But you can just get immersed in planting trees and building things to look amazing. So you're kind of split, because the game doesn't really have, from what I can see, an end game. And it's very similar to Animal Crossing, and I'm not exaggerating. Like I said before, you will be able to get hundreds and hundreds of hours out of this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people get thousands of hours of this game, because the world is massive. And once you actually play, and all the people who are playing right now and watching this, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're looking at it, you're like overwhelmed, like, wow, there is too much I can do in this game. Now, in terms of if it's a game you would like to play, honestly, if you like Animal Crossing, so in terms of Animal Crossing, in terms of that, I wouldn't say I'm a crazy Animal Crossing fan. Like I played it in 2020, and while it was okay, I probably wasn't the main target audience for it. But I have to admit that there's just something about the world of Pokemon that meshes so well with that Animal Crossing inspired gameplay. There's just something just really opens up when you have Pokemon that you have that familiarity with, that connection, and then you can use all their unique abilities to flesh out your own world. It just really elevates it. And I'm only a few days in of playing, and I can just tell that this game is going to have a very long shelf life. And if you are watching this, and if you thought about content creation, I'm telling you, you have such a big opportunity because this is going to become a big staple in the series. And I don't want to say anything too outlandish because it is early days, but I really could see Pokemon Pokopia either becoming a main series staple like with the mainline games or how like the Legends games are here. I really could see it having its own spot. Especially when I've now seen how well the gameplay works for Pokemon and this life simulator game. And it's just, the when it meshes, it just works really well. And it's very surprising to me to see how long it's taken for this to be built. And it really did exceed my expectations. And I'm also thinking, like, if there's a TCG release that is inspired by Pokopia, I would actually really see that work as well. I really could see a little bit of a TCG expansion that focuses a little bit of Pokemon Pokopia. Like, it would really, really work. And some of the artworks that you could get in this world would be incredible as well. So I actually think this is also going to bring in a lot of people to the TCG because they're just going to be like wanting to collect more Pokemon, wanting to get into that world. It's going to really open up Pokemon. And in terms of big moments, I think this is one of the biggest moments for Pokemon in terms of opening up even a bigger audience, because all those Animal Crossing fans and all those, they probably love Pokemon as well, but I actually think that they're going to be enjoying this more than Animal Crossing from what I can see and how well the world like works with one another. And yeah, like if you are playing it, I think a big like tip for you is make sure to just be careful about your time investment in here because it really rewards you for long gameplay. I mean, as a dad with a daughter, my time I don't actually have that much time to play video games, but I also can see that I'll just like go on Pokemon Pokopia an hour before bed. And you can actually have, like, it's a game that you can just literally log on to half an hour to an hour every night and just keep building your world. So it really delivers in that aspect as well. Also, when playing the game, a little bit of a pro tip, if you do end up buying the game or if you just started it, I would definitely make my camera setting be as far away as possible. It really helps like looking at the overworld. And I actually it helps me when I put the camera sensitivity to the fastest. I found the camera like really slow. That was just for me. But if you actually open up that world, that is a little thing that I found the game. It really opens up the game. So definitely do those settings if you want it to be a little bit easier. But Pokemon is obviously changing a lot. And with this release of Pokopia, it does seem like the games have had a lot more positive sentiment than they've had recently because there's been some big shifts with Pokemon video games versus the TCG recently. And I personally think that the TCG is in a better place at the moment than its video games. And I actually give a full breakdown in this video on screen right here. Within this video on screen, I go into the big shift Pokemon has had and I explain it all there. If you enjoyed this video, click the video that's appearing on screen. Appreciate you watching and I'll see you on the next video.